California and USC. I'm Jack Waterman.
And I'm Nia Harris. We're coming to you live from Studio B in USC's Annenberg Media Center. It's Thursday, February 9th, 2023.
On today's show, we take a look at plans for Sunday's Super Bowl.
I don't know if now is a good time to relapse, but it's the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens.
Disney plans to lay off thousands of employees.
This was Iger returning to what has always been the core of Disney's success.
And Mayor Karen Bass begins her program to tackle homelessness.
And that solution is getting people off the streets and into housing.
All that and more from where we are after these news headlines from Terrence Snyder.
The death toll from the earthquake that struck Turkey and Syria this week has passed 20,000 people. Thousands more are injured and remain without shelter, as Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan has faced criticism for his handling of the crisis. Hopes of finding the remaining survivors are dwindling. The U.S. State Department found that the Chinese spy balloon shot down over Myrtle Beach was part of a Chinese military surveillance fleet that has flown over 40 countries. In response, the House of Representatives passed a resolution condemning the Chinese government with a vote of 419 to 0. Democratic Representative Adam Schiff said this today.
I think the Biden administration handled the situation appropriately, waited until it was safe to down this aircraft. I think there was a real risk to people on the ground had they acted while it was flying over the continental United States. And I think downing the craft sends a powerful message to China that we won't tolerate invasions of our airspace.
Senator John Fetterman was rushed to a D.C. hospital this morning in what was first believed to be another stroke. Fetterman is known for having a stroke last May during his time on the campaign trail. However, doctors in the D.C. hospital claim that the diagnosis of a stroke is not the case. Fetterman's spokesperson, John Cavello, claimed that he is speaking with his family and remains in good spirits. Microsoft has partnered with OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, to release a new version of its search engine, Bing. The new Bing will have artificial intelligence capabilities and can respond to its questions with full sentences as if a human wrote them. Twitter announced their latest update to their API plan. API is the pragmatic endpoints used in the Twitter interface. The new plan limits a user to 1,500 tweets a month or allows for an ads API at $100 a month. These changes will come into effect on February 13th. For Annenberg Media, I'm Terrence Snyder.
All right, let's be honest. Around LA, not much will top last year's Super Bowl when the LA Rams won at home in SoFi Stadium. But USC students are still here for the big game. And some even have money riding on Sunday's game. Matt Chen reports.
Coming this Sunday to Glendale, Arizona is a Rihanna concert interrupted by a football game. Jokes aside, the Kansas City Chiefs face off against the Philadelphia Eagles in the 57th Super Bowl. The two teams have never played each other in the Super Bowl, and it's been 5 years since the Eagles last won the championship in 2018. The Chiefs claimed a Super Bowl victory in 2020, but tasted bitter loss in 2021's big game. So, both teams have something to prove going into Sunday. The game will pit Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes against the Eagles QB Jalen Hurts. Due to this star-studded matchup, USC students have turned to sports betting. Sophomore AJ Raff has already put money on the game.
I currently have already $60 invested in Prize Picks.
There are even grassroots betting pools for USC students besides big-name organizations like Prize Picks. Business administration major Anish Gundameta plans to use his financial savvy to do just that.
But I'm planning on organizing a pool so other people can bet.
Other students are spurning the habit given its addictive qualities. Freshman human bio major Dylan Tunchel broke it down for us.
I'm trying to quit. I've been off it for a few weeks, so I don't know if now is a good time to relapse, but it's the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens.
Nonetheless, people place sports bets for a reason. Evan Brunner, a math major at Arizona State University, sang its praises.
It makes it a lot more fun, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I'd watch it more. I'd watch it closer, for sure.
For some, the thrill of risk enhances the overall viewing experience. And for others, the reclusive Rihanna will draw their attention. For Annenberg Media, I'm Matt Chen.
The happiest place on earth may not be so happy right now. Disney announced on Wednesday that it will lay off 7,000 employees to significantly cut costs and restructure its company. Ethan Huang reports.
Disney's theme parks did well last year, making huge profits. But their streaming services, which include Disney Plus, ESPN, and Hulu, lost money. In a conference call with investors yesterday, returning CEO Bob Iger, who previously led the company from 2005 to 2020, announced a new structural plan for the company that aims to cut more than $5 billion in costs. He hopes to offset losses from Disney's streaming division of about $1 billion this past quarter. Disclosure, Mr. Iger is married to Willow Bay, the dean of USC's Annenberg School. Part of Iger's plan is to lay off 7,000 Disney employees. That's about 4% of its global workforce. This, despite quarterly profit and revenue at Disney from all divisions except streaming, overall profits last year exceeded the expectations of analysts. For example, Disney's U.S. theme parks reported slightly more than $2 billion in profit last quarter, 36% higher than during the same quarter a year ago. Iger also announced that Disney will be reorganized into 3 divisions: Disney Entertainment, ESPN, and a Parks, Experience, and Products division. The Disney Entertainment division will consolidate content production and distribution of film and TV, which includes its streaming services. The 2 departments were previously separate. David Craig teaches communications at Annenberg. He sees this restructuring as a return to basics.
So in a way, this was Iger returning to what has always been the core of Disney's success, which is around creating intellectual property that can be monetized across all of their services and divisions.
Disney's current top film executive, along with the current entertainment and television chief, will join forces to lead the new Disney Entertainment division. They'll be tasked with quickly turning it around to bring the company more profit, at a time when new players, including tech companies with huge bankrolls, are entering the streaming entertainment game. Craig believes that this is a reflection of the struggle between Hollywood and tech companies.
So that's what I mean by Silicon Valley has now not only entered into Hollywood and disrupted Hollywood, but by virtue of having massive capital and deep pockets, has the means to compete and swallow up Hollywood, if not erase Hollywood. So it's become a very competitive landscape now. We no longer live in the age of 5 or 6 media conglomerates. In fact, none of the media conglomerates even compare to those tech firms from Silicon Valley.
On the phone call with investors on Wednesday, CEO Bob Iger said, "We will take a very hard look at the cost of everything we make across television and film." For Annenberg Media, I'm Ethan Huang.
I'm Nia Harris. We're glad you're with us from where we are.
And I'm Jack Waterman. It's 8 minutes past the hour. Up next, what would the big one look like if it hit California? And a look at Mayor Bass's initiative to end homelessness. Stay tuned. Syria and Turkey have been devastated by last week's massive earthquake. But would the results have been the same had it happened in Southern California? In 2008, the shakeout simulation predicted how an earthquake of the same severity would affect LA, and reporter Hallie Mecklin compared them.
Last week's 7.8 magnitude earthquake in Turkey has worried Californians who acknowledge that things like In-N-Out, Hollywood celebrities, and year-long beach weather come at the cost of living on one of the most active sets of fault lines in the world. As of today, over 20,000 people have died in the earthquake that hit Turkey and northern Syria, with that number expanding each day. The rescue and aid efforts by other nations are still ongoing and are expected to last for months. But that still leaves the question on a lot of people's minds. What would an earthquake the magnitude of the one experienced in Turkey look like in the state of California? In other words, what will be the aftermath of the big one? In 2008, the U.S. Geological Survey published a study called the Shakeout Scenario. It tells the story on what would happen if a 7.8 earthquake would hit Southern California on the San Andreas Fault. The simulation played out as one of the most fatal natural disasters in American history, with over 1,800 dead and 50,000 injured. Los Angeles County would suffer the most fatalities with over 1,000 dead, followed by Orange County with 350 dead. Trans-state infrastructure, including the 15 and the 10 freeways, could be destroyed, and nearly 1 million people could be displaced from their homes. Those who do still have a house standing may not have power, gas, or even cell service. It's estimated that the damages would total $200 billion. The initial shaking would last only about a minute in the earliest hit areas, but it would bring with it tens of thousands of aftershocks that would last months after the quake. The first major aftershock, only 17 hours after the earthquake, would have a massive impact with an estimated 7.2 magnitude, almost as bad as the first one. Since this simulation has ran, Californian schools have participated in the Great Shakeout Drill in preparation for an event like this, and buildings have been built to withstand high-magnitude earthquakes.
Okay, drop, cover, hold.
Turkey's infrastructure was not earthquake-proofed, which has contributed to the disastrous death toll. The purpose of the shakeout scenario isn't just to fearmonger, but to prepare Californians for an incident that may be just around the corner. For Annenberg Media, I'm Hallie Mecklin.
Karen Bass's new program tackling homelessness in Los Angeles has officially been implemented. Will her attempt at fulfilling one of her biggest campaign promises be successful?
Homelessness has defined the streets of LA for decades with no end in sight. As mayor of Los Angeles, what has Karen Bass promised us and what has she done? While campaigning for mayor, Bass has made promises such as housing 15,000 people by the end of her first year and ending street encampments. Since the start of her term, Bass has made considerable progress. Her first act in office was declaring a state of emergency on homelessness.
But it is to help us get a solution, and that solution is getting people off the streets and into housing. Essentially, it will give me the authority to rally all of the different departments in the city so that we can centralize the process and move it forward.
Just 2 months ago, Bass signed an executive directive to launch Inside Safe, a program aimed at reducing homelessness in Los Angeles. According to the official Los Angeles Mayor website, Inside Safe is a housing-based program where people will be given quality housing based on the most dire and populated locations.
It's going to address the people that are in the tents. Now, it's not going to address everybody, but it is going to address, hopefully, a significant number. But we're going to put them in motels and hotels immediately.
ABC News reports that Bass and her program have managed to clear 6 homeless encampments in locations such as the 101 freeway in Hollywood, as well as Venice. All previously homeless are now living in encampment-accepted housing. Karen Bass has also been partnering with Tiny Homes, an organization that builds housing for the homeless. According to the website, Tiny Homes takes a short time to build and assemble at just a fraction of the cost. Each 64 square feet tiny home has 2 beds and is equipped with air conditioning, windows, a small desk, and a front door. They also claim meals, showers, case management, housing navigation, mental health, job training, and placement will be provided. While Bass has provided housing for a handful of individuals, she and the city of Los Angeles have a long way to go. For Annenberg Media, I'm Amy Lopez.
And that's all we have time for on today's From Where We Are. Spencer Klein, Jeffrey Lee, Daishalyn Satcher, and Ethan Huang produced today's show. We also had some help today from MJ Newsom, Jack Hallinan, Susan Narenda, and Paige Shea.
Derek Renfro composed our theme music. Matt Chen runs our soundboard. Our live stream manager is Vanessa Wong. Be sure to check us out on YouTube at Annenberg Radio News. I'm Nia Harris.
And I'm Jack Waterman. From all of us at Annenberg Radio, wherever you are. From where we are. Who do you think's winning the Super Bowl?
I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, geez. I'm from Dallas. Go Chiefs. Thanks, guys. See ya.